This is the Backing Young Britain Mentor Training Programme, and throughout this day we're looking at giving you some more information about the campaign, so where it came from, a bit of background and context. Also some activities within the group that will help you explore some skills you already have, and also look at the skills you can use within the journey that you'll have with your mentee. 1 in 5 young people fall into what's called a NEET category, so they're not in education, employment or training. So if you put yourself in the position of a young person at the moment, possibly coming out of school, out of college, out of university, that's a hugely daunting figure. And this is why you're here really, to help bring that figure down as much as we can. Now our target, if you like, as an organisation is to train 10,000 mentors with the idea that they will mentor a young person. So then we have 10,000 young people that have gone through this process and are hopefully ready to get back into the job market. Within the first session, we look at the context and background of Backing Young Britain, so where it came from and what it's for. We also look at how it works with existing schemes and initiatives that the government run. So, for example, we look at how it works with the Job Centre and the things that they offer already, and how, as a mentor, you can work with the support that's already there for your young person. It's important that you know what other support is available with regards to the Job Centre. And what we would expect you to do is point your young person in the right direction. It may be that you choose to work with your young person and possibly look at their CV. And whilst you're having a look, you're thinking, this really needs quite a lot of work, possibly more work than I can put in at the moment to help them with that. Point them back to the Job Centre. That's what it's there for, so refer them to that. So we look in detail at what the Job Centre can offer from day one, from 3 months, 6 months, 9 months and from 12 months of unemployment. We do this within this section so that mentors can learn that they can't fix everything, and so they know what support and help is there for young people so that they can act as a signpost and guide them in the right direction for the support for them. We hope that mentors will take from this some knowledge about where the programme comes from and also what other help and support is available for young people. This session is about motivation, so we look at what different aspects can motivate people into becoming a mentor and also what motivates mentees into becoming part of this process. I want you to have a think about things that may motivate you as mentors, things that may have the opposite effect and really put you off, and also for your mentee. So things that really motivate them and, again, things that have the opposite effect.
Things that you feel good about are not being recognised by the powers that be in older people.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would be demotivating.
Yeah.
Within this session, we do a lot of activities based upon factors that may influence mentees and mentors, so things that may motivate and that may demotivate. A mentor can expect more interaction in this session, as we'll be doing group activities and lots of tabletop work to promote discussion.
Quite a high motivation for me.
We do this so that mentors can become aware of factors that may influence mentees throughout their journey. And also it's quite interesting to see the relationship people have with mentoring and why they want to give something back to the community.
The benefits of mentoring is so magical. Just having a person who you can rely on and trust, who will listen to you without making judgments, the effect of that, the benefit of that is so potentially amazing.
Yes.
I lost my way when I was about 18 by not knowing what I wanted to do, and it took me a few years to get back on track, so I just want to help people who are probably in the same position as me.
I've mentored before for other organisations and found it very rewarding, and I've worked in various industries and can transfer those skills over to young people.
So the knowledge you can offer with regards to working in your profession and the experience that you've had of working in general as well are really invaluable. And obviously within the matching process we do try and match you with someone that wants to get into your field. Mentors can take away from this a reinforced awareness as to why they're actually on the programme themselves, and also an understanding of the multitude of factors that may influence a mentee in their journey. Within this session we look at the 4 stages that are clearly outlined by the DWP for use within this mentoring scheme. Your first stage, we'd expect you to ask who they are. Who's your mentee? Find a little bit about them, what they want to do. Talk about their previous experience as well, along with educational backgrounds, sort of any qualifications they may or may not have. We'll move on to stage 2, which is your approaches to your job search. This is when you get into a bit more nitty-gritty about what experience do they actually have and where they want to work. We'll move on to stage 3, which looks at your job search techniques. I mentioned before, if you're in a specific area, there might be certain ways that you can get a foot in the door that people outside of that, wouldn't be aware of. So if we've got through all these 3 stages, you'd hope that at this point your young person would be moving into work. I mean, this is one thing that everybody has in common. Everybody has started a new job sometime, and 9 times out of 10 they haven't felt really confident. Your mentee still may need you at this point. Within this session, we look at each stage, have a look at how it should look and feel, and also any problems that you think might occur and how we can find solutions. We also look at the paperwork within your mentoring toolkit that you will find useful. You have a quote on here that you may possibly get from a young person. And if you'd like to take it in turns to be the mentor and the mentee, I'd like as the mentee for you to read out that quote, and as the mentor, I'd like to see how you'd react to it, what you'd do.
I look after my mum, I do the shopping and I do the washing and I see my mates and I'm quite busy really.
We will have to find time to fit all the things that you need to do around that, so making the applications, and I think it's a time management thing really.
So if I'm going to apply for a job and I've got to put some time into it, how do I do that?
You can work around looking after your mum.
I think from the discussions I overheard, you found it quite useful to actually talk a situation out loud. Any problems people had at all? Anything they struggled with?
Well, she frightened me because she said I had to fit it into my schedule and I haven't got one.
So I said, well, I think you'll need a day a week. And then you couldn't do a day.
Mentors should expect a lot of group discussion from this session and also some role plays to look at real life scenarios. We do this so that mentors realise what's expected of them and how the journey should be planned out. Mentors will take away from this session a greater understanding of how each stage will feel and what it will look like for both them as a mentor and for the mentee. At the end of the day, we look at putting all of our knowledge together and using the 4 stages in some case studies. So you've got your 4 stages set out by the DWP there, and down the side we have a bit that says what the stage may feel like, what it may sound like and what it may look like. But what I want you to do is pick one of these cards for me. Now there'll be a picture of your young person and some details about them on the back. I just want you to use those individuals as a starting point, if you like, to create your scenarios. Your basic 4 stages should look very, very similar, regardless of the young person that you're working with. Within this session, case studies are handed out and groups get the chance to fill in a form based upon the 4 DWP stages. We do this so we can put into practice the knowledge learned and use as many examples as possible to prepare you for potential scenarios. Through doing this, mentors should be able to take away with them a complete picture of how the journey should look for a mentee. Tell us about Chris.
He's been excluded from school in the last year, and although he has been on a variety of government-funded training programmes, he still doesn't have much confidence in writing letters or doing applications. What support could you give Chris? I think he feels I've done all these training programmes, I haven't got very far with them. Moving into work, he might feel underqualified because he didn't finish school. He might recognise I need more help. I'm not actually ready to go into work.
Mentors can expect an assessment based upon what we've learnt throughout the day and also lots of group discussion about their case studies.